Welcome to Imagine It, down here at Imagination Station, joined once again by Chief Scientist Carl Nelson. And Carl, lots of different little elements to this one, I should say.
I want to show you something that one of our volunteers, who's been here for like forever, Herm, showed me this recently, and it's just like the coolest thing ever, I think. So this is called a sky hook, okay? So it's just a piece of wood that's cut into a shape. But if I take my belt, my old belt, and clip it on here, let's see, clip it on this way. And here, I'll have you stick your finger out and hold it a little bit higher. And we're gonna see if we can balance it on your finger.
Oh, that way.
And it balances.
Very nice.
Now, you may not think like, well, whoop-de-doo, it's balancing, right? But the interesting thing is this will only work with a belt. Because if you rotate your hand a little bit for the camera, bring it this way, yeah. You notice the belt is like falling backwards this way. We're actually putting the center of mass of the belt right underneath the pivot point. And that's what makes it stable.
Interesting, because this kind of gets so long it kind of comes back.
Right, if I were to flip it the other way.
Oh yeah, no. It's leaning forward, right? So it's just
it's
going
actually
like,
leaning backwards. I can't.
Oh, that way.
I can't seem to accomplish this.
Yeah, there's no way.
There's no way that's going to work, right? So likewise, if I give you this 18-inch ruler and ask you to balance it, I'll just hand it to you. Go ahead and balance it.
Okay.
How would you balance it?
Well, I mean, it looks like an 18-inch ruler, so I'd probably put it at the 9 mark. Or
exactly. You're going to put an equal amount of mass on either side, and you can balance it.
There we go.
But if I touch it a little bit more.
Yeah, there it goes.
It's
surprisingly stable.
It's not, it is. It's not completely stable, and the problem is that the center of mass is in line right with the ruler, and it can balance, but it's not all that stable. If, however, I were to give you this thing, okay, give one finger, and here I have 2 units of mass, 1 unit away, 1 unit of mass, 2 units away, and the mass is below the pivot point.
Yeah.
So the center of mass is below the pivot point, and so this, if you give it a little wiggle, it's stable, okay? It's the same idea with like this little contraption here. One of our tinkering associates made this sort of thing, and you notice that there's a cork and a weight, which counterbalances the weight of the airplane and keeps it stable. So it can bounce back and forth, it doesn't fall off. And
I'm trying to spin mine myself, see if I can get the same thing, but of course the cork's going to hit the knuckles.
It's a little bit hard it's awkward, yeah. But you know, if you come down to the Science Center, we don't just have corks and sticks and rulers, we have a whole exhibit. We have our high wire cycle, right?
Again, the Doc Brown moment. Apologies for the crudity of this model. I didn't have time to build it to scale.
So here we have a rider on our high wire bike, which is 18 feet in the air, 275 pounds down below them, what that does is puts the center of mass below the pivot point, and so we don't recommend that visitors tip the bike back and forth. But if they would return to the upright position because of the torques that are applied by the weight down below.
No,
right?
I've done that before. I've done the bike here.
Yeah.
How high did you say that was?
Well, so the cable's 18 feet off the ground. It's a 1-inch cable. Puts your center of mass about 20 feet, your belly about 20 feet
It feels
above.
higher.
It does, especially because you back out when you do it.
Yeah.
But rest assured, because of low center of mass, there is no way that bike can tip over.
I remember we were at Bash, and I was just terrified of the bike, and Tony got this. He's over there just like, I've done this before, just showing off, so you know, your mileage may vary.
So you can do this sort of stuff even if you're at a dinner party, right? And you have maybe you have a fork and something like this. You can challenge somebody to balance a cork.
To which somebody says, I was going to save that wine. Why did you
Right. Well, if you don't have, obviously you don't have the fork on there, it's just going to fall off your finger. I don't even need to demonstrate that. But it's all because of that idea of getting the center mass down below, just like on our high wire cycle.
Really cool stuff.
So you definitely, if you haven't ridden the bike, come down and check it out. There are weight limits, and you got to be 54 inches, but if you meet those, get on it and give it a try.
It's worth the wait.
It is.
I'm Dan, that's Carl, and that is how you imagine it.